Hey everyone. So this video is going to be a little bit longer, so I'm going to try to just cut to the chase here. This video is going to be about Grand Canyon Caverns, and while Ghost Adventures did stay here, I'm going to be posting a different video talking more about Ghost Adventures. This video is just the full tour that I was giving here, located on Arizona's Route 66. So enjoy.
We're going to be entering our first main tunnel, so watch your steps and shoulders. Okay, welcome to Grand Canyon Caverns. The story of our Grand Canyon Caverns formation started way back about 345 million years ago. This formation, the way it was started back in the days, it was from these tiny sea animals. And one time, these tiny sea animals, they lived way deep on the bottom of the ocean. From their shells and skeletons, they created this fine, rich deposit. So during the tour, you're gonna see so much of limestone, which is this, and also this look like a snowball called the Jimson. I'm gonna show you all the rock formation, like red wall clay, oxide of iron, and also the selenite crystal. This side right here, this is the only side where you're gonna see these stalagmite cave onyx and flowstone. And here we have these two domes. They're called Cathedral Dome, which is about 90 feet above trail. And one time these two domes were created from the erosion of the water and also these tiny sea animals. We have our cabin suite, which is 2 queen-size bed, and then these futons, we can turn it in as bed as well. We have a TV, a DVD player. Don't expect to have Wi-Fi or internet service because there's no way you're gonna get service at all. The square box right here, all around. This is our restroom. You can see the shower head from here. Also, we had celebrities stay here before, like Ozzy Osbourne, Steve-O from Jackass, the movie, and also the Ghost Adventure stayed here. I'm gonna show you where they record this episode. You can see this episode either Netflix or YouTube. Okay, here we have this rare form of selenite crystal called halatites. In Latin word means hollow. This cup holder very sensitive and fragile. Later on the tour, I'm going to show you a larger size of this unique and shiny rock. Cases of dynamite. So we're going to do a little bit of hiking here. So be ready. Here we go. Okay, this excuse me, this side right here is called the House of Gold, Oxide of Iron. This hall right here is a good size of 2 football fields. Starting from this corner right here, all the way to the other side, which we're heading that direction. Okay, first I'm going to be talking about this wedding chapel. This served our last wedding October 26, 2020. So far we got at least 13 weddings performed here in the last 40 years. Now, I'm going to be talking about these supplies right here. Back in 1962, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, President John F. Kennedy assigned this area as a underground shelters and food supplies. So what we got here, far corner, we got boxes of crackers. These are big color barrels are full of medical supplies. These black barrels are full of water. In this corner, we have all these cases of water. This event happened in December of 1962 and will provide for 2,000 people in case of any emergency like natural disasters, chemical warfare, or even earthquakes. The coverage will be 60 miles radius, so it's going to be the small town of Snigman, Arizona, the Wallapai Indian Reservation, and also Kingman, Arizona, which is 60 miles away from this location. Do you guys have any questions about this set right here?
No, sir.
All right. Pretty much nowadays, this is more likely an exhibition because this event happened almost 60 years ago. Okay, this time right here is called the Snowball Palace. This rare, unique information is called Jameson. A lot of people like to call it snowball, cauliflower, mushrooms, or popcorn. But the original name is Jimson. And sometimes they use this material to make sheetrocks or drywalls for houses. Right here in front of us, and in the last 40 years or 50 years, this is our human hands. Our hands have so much oil, sweat, and bacteria. Back then, they were so curious about this formation. The bit of the nose, this part right here is completely damaged. In order to restore this part right here, it's going to take so many years, maybe thousands of years more to reform again. And why? Because water disappeared here a long time ago, so it takes longer for them to reform again. The original color is going to be this white bone color or crystal clear white. Look at the difference from here to here. Big difference, right?
That's insane.
I know, right?
Just off the oils.
I mean, it's so tempting. You see those snowballs, you're like, oh, I mean, grab them, you know? Yeah, back then there was not that. I don't think they were so conscious of, especially this stuff like here, natural wonders, you know? Called the mystery room, which is 318 below our surface. According to our expert geologists, this cave right here, there's no ending. The only thing that we know from here to Havasu Falls or Grand Canyon National Park, 65 miles away, which is very true. We're not too far away from the two locations. Also, I'm going to explain how this air flows around. This oxygen that we breathe right now, it goes back and forth on a daily basis, depending on our low pressure and high pressure above the surface. So when there's low pressure above the surface, high pressure comes from this cave right here and goes straight out to our elevator shaft. The opposite. When there's high pressure above the surface, low pressure comes from this cave right here and goes straight out to our elevator shaft. It takes at least 2 or 3 days to travel back and forth. Just picture this, the whole entire cavern is almost like being here in a giant refrigerator or a giant air conditioner. So this cave right here, the more you go forward, the more it's going to get narrow and also very narrow, and also, what do you call it? Most of the time you're going to be crawling through rocks and boulders. Sometimes you're not going to be able to stand up. At this moment, we're still doing a lot of exploration and a lot of excavation. So maybe someday in the future time, they will find the ending on this cave right here. Mummified Bobcat And one time he fell from our main entrance, and once he fell here, this leg was broken. So this leg right here is forward to the University of Arizona in Tucson for field study and tests. From there, they gave us all the information from 1850 until now. And that's about 170 years ago. Over the years, I'm being in these temperature conditions, free bacteria, low humidity, he turned into a modified bobcat or a preserved bobcat. Here we have an example replica, so we can show our guests the full body of a bobcat. Watch for this leg sticking out.
It had to be a pain to get all that down here.
Right? Yeah, of course.
Especially back then.
The elevator, yeah. Because that same year, they opened the elevator earlier that year. In 1962, they opened the elevator. So then from there, they brought all the supplies through the elevator. Yeah, I'm bad.
Thank God.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they use those corporate workers or the National Guard to bring all this stuff, you know?
I believe it. Back then, everything was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here, this dome right here is called the Mammoth Dome, which is the highest point from the whole entire caverns. 142 feet above trail, way up there. This first rig shell right here is going to be 92 feet above trail. From here to the top of the surface, that's another additional 50 feet. So 50 feet plus 92 feet, total 142 feet above trail. Right in front of me, I have red wall clay mixed with calcium and minerals. And here we have our gypsum flowers mixed with selenite crystal. And from the bottom, we have our gray cluster all the way to the top. Okay, this side right here, I'm going to show these snowballs making the little formation. Since there's no water, there's something else besides water. I'm going to give you a hint. We do our tours every day. No water, but we do our tours every single day. Besides water, there's something else. So what do you think it is? Right. Our sweat, our breathing, and so much things that we have in our body. Right? 100 years from now, these snowballs are going to be longer. We're not going to be here to see this, but our grandkids will be here to see this for us. Especially these ones over here, the little ones.
Yeah.
Number 14, this is the construction project, 1958 to 1962, 4 years of the project. So during this time, Walter Pegg lost these caverns for not paying taxes, so these brothers took over the business. Back then, they were known as the Richard Brothers. Today, they're known as the Yellow Fried Trucking. On top of the surface, they drill a hole from there. They start pouring the cement to this box right here. And from here, it was transferred to this wheelbarrow. Okay, all the way down where we start our tours, the beginning, they started laying all the cement. They did all the entire fencing, the 3 tunnels, and our elevator. 4 years of the project. It took long so many years because 1950s, they didn't have so much of equipment. That time era, they didn't have enough equipment or machines. If they would have done this project nowadays, I'm pretty sure these workers would have finished within 6 months or even less. These workers back in 1950s, they work at least from 10 to 12 hours a day. And believe me, this is the only man tool they had back in the days, the manpower, right? So like I said, if they would have done this project nowadays, I'm pretty sure they would have finished this within 6 months or even less. Nowadays, we got so much of equipment, tools, machines, even this technology is so advanced, they would have finished this within 6 months or even less. And be honest, I give them a lot of credit for doing this for us, for these workers. They worked so hard for doing this big project. Let's move forward. I'm going to show you a snake right here. And one time the snake one time he fell from our main natural entrance, which is going to be where this wooden staircases are. Once these creatures and animals fall here, they won't survive at all because there's no foot of water, plus they cannot survive these temperature conditions that we have here in these caverns. Next, I'm going to show you a coyote. Same thing happened to this coyote. I'm going to show you every corner of this caverns. So make your money worth, you know. Same thing happened to this coyote. One time fell here. Same thing with the bobcat, the snake, and now we have this coyote.
Oh my God.
Okay, here, before these staircases were installed, this is where Walter Payne discovered these caverns back in 1927. From above, he starts sending people down on this rope. So this is the actual 150 feet, and this is the dope on the rope. From there, you were doing your own tours, your own explores by yourself. 10 years after, 1937, the brothers, with the help of some of the engineers and corporate workers from the Hoover Dam, they came here and helped out to install these staircases. By then, the tours became popular, and also they were selling their ticket per person 75 cents. Walter Peck for the dope on the rope was only charging 25 cents, so that's the reason he lost his cameras for not making so much money. From there on, we opened the elevator in 1962. This main entrance was sealed for good cause and good reasons. This is a giant sloth bear, S-L-O-T-H, bear. And one time when she fell here, from the top of the surface, her bones were all found here. 95% of her bones were all found here, all scattered around. So they put them all together and sent to the University of Arizona and Tucson for further study and test. From there, they gave us this replica. She's only a baby female, about 1 or 3 years old, 15 feet, 4 inches, and she weighs about 2,000 pounds. When she fell here, she struggled and suffered so much. She was scratching this wall many times, never made it to the top of the surface. Eventually, she fell back where they found her bones in this area. Nowadays, these creatures look, they're the size of a monkey, and they live in Costa Rica, Panama, Central America, deep in the rainforest jungle, and also Brazil, South America, which is one of the biggest rainforests in the entire world. They move very slow, and also they eat leaves from the trees. 1900s in Texas, they found one. This one was an adult, 25 feet, and weighed about 3,000 pounds. So in one time, these giant sloth bears, they roam around, especially the southwest of the United States. The last time they lived here on Earth, it was between 10 to 20,000 years ago, which is going to be our last ice age. They no longer exist. They're gone forever. When they were building these staircases, this is where they found the prehistoric bones. As we're heading downstairs, be cautious, take your time, and use these handrails. Okay, here we have this stainless steel that was removed from the American Film Institute Theater in Hollywood, California, back in December 2012. And one time they wanted to have this theater as a movie theater, but the state of Arizona didn't allow us because there's no two emergency exit. Instead of that, we only have one opening, which is going to be our elevator. From there, we use it for our set of weddings. Also, we have celebrities who sat in the seat of such names as Marilyn Monroe, Jackie Gleason, Frank Sinatra, John Travolta, Alfred Hitchcock, producers and director for the filmmaking, sat in these seats. These seats were manufactured back in 1950s, and they're going to be well preserved as days and years go by in our caverns. Our suite is one of the 10 most unique and unusual places in the world to sleep. First, we have this prison cell from Russia. Second, we have this ice castle from Finland, Norway, and Sweden. Us were in the third place of the 10 most unique and unusual places in the world to sleep. And to stay here for one couple is going to be $950. Any additional person is going to be $100. It sounds expensive, but the best thing to do, just gather all your best friends and family, and everyone can at least pitch in. $250 total will be $950 or $1,000. Maximum to stay here in our cavern suite. At least 6 people can stay here in our cavern suite. Go upstairs, take picture as much as you can. Please do not touch anything. And this right here, 2x4, just lift it and just enter the suite. I'm gonna be waiting for you over here in this side over here.
Okay.
Ready?